It's 4 o'clock in Los Angeles. It's 6 o'clock in Chicago, and it's 7 p.m. in Philadelphia, PA. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our very special live election night coverage of the 2024. God help us, but we're here. The 2024 presidential election. America goes to vote. Amelia the Pitbull Chapman is at Command Central. I am your host, the Mad Dog. I will be here till they throw me out of the joint. It's going to be it's probably, Amelia, going to be a very interesting night.
It is.
Let's just tell everybody that we are live tonight, as we are each and every night. But this is a very special live edition, a news edition of America Votes.
Yes.
This is live election coverage of the 2024 presidential election. Donald J. Trump and Kamala Harris, Vice President Harris and former President Trump, are battling each other for the White House. It's going to be an interesting night indeed. There are polls, the first polls closing in just under an hour, about 45 minutes from now on the East Coast. There are the first closings at 7. We will have a second round of closings, ladies and gentlemen, at 8 p.m. And California, we're looking for the first runs from California at 10 p.m. Eastern. Of course, California closes their polls anywhere from 7 to 8 p.m. Most people in California tell me 7 p.m. is the time that they look for in the big state.
Right.
The state with the most electoral votes, by the way.
Right.
Amelia, you were surprised at that.
Yeah, I thought it was Texas because I'm from Texas originally, and I thought we had the one. And I was like, when I looked at it, I was like, oh my gosh, California, and I know Pennsylvania usually are the ones that have the most deciding votes. I thought.
Well, it's interesting that you said that. Pennsylvania typically does not have the most, but they're the most important because Pennsylvania is called the swing state, which means it could swing in either direction. That's why they're looking at Pennsylvania so closely.
It looks like right now they have Kentucky at 66% and 32%. Donald Trump is 66%, and Vice President Kamala Harris is 35% right now in Kentucky.
And that we should say that's a straw poll number. That is not a confirmed. It is not a confirmed number.
No,
not yet.
Not yet.
Not until the fat lady sings.
Correct.
And the fat lady hasn't showed up yet.
That's how the polls are coming in right now as we speak. That's for right now, not confirmed, but that's what they're coming in as of right now.
Right.
But little by little, they're coming in, but things could change, as you know. But little by little, they're doing the counties by counties right now.
Okay, I think we get Amelia's point. They're going to take their time, is what she's trying to say in a very long-winded way. Anyway. So, Amelia, last night we had a lot of interesting feedback on our show.
Oh, we did.
People loved our show last night. We got, I think we're on to something here. We got a lot of people last night saying you need to do more of that. More news, more politics, more conspiracy.
Oh, good.
And we will give you what you want, folks, because that's what we do here.
Conspiracy of what type? Just any type of conspiracy, or did they have suggestions for us of conspiracy?
They have suggestions, but that's not tonight. That's for a different show. We are tonight covering the election of Donald J. Trump and Kamala Harris. We will talk a little bit of our normal show topic, not as the night goes on, but right now I want to get a grasp on what's happening across the country. What are we looking at in the South, Amelia? Give me an idea of what's going on in the South.
Well, right now, they're just talking about first results coming in from Indiana and Kentucky. They're just
okay.
A little by
little.
So
the South hasn't given any updates, any information just yet. Typically, the first state in the South to report typically, not always,
Not always.
Tennessee.
Correct.
So we will know probably at right around 7 o'clock or so. We should know
Hmm.
what's going on in Tennessee. But
Correct.
as I said, folks,
Mhm.
it's an early night. It's so far. It's going to be a late night, but we're still in the early stages of it. So we'll get back to you on what's happening where and who's doing what to who.
Correct, because as I was coming in from work, a lot of people were still outside the line to vote because where I live at is a one of our main hubs where you can vote. So people were
Speaking of
still in line.
voting, folks, the Mad Dog voted. I
Yay! So
voted today. I'm so proud. I put it on my coffee cup.
there you go.
I want people to see every time I take a sip, I voted.
And speaking of voting, I only showed one card, so they wouldn't think that I was cheating.
Oh, can I tell everybody what you're talking about? Let me tell you.
Sure.
Okay, so Amelia lives in Florida, which you know is already screwed up. The
Oh,
only thing they got going for them is Ron DeSantis because I like Ron. Um, leave it to the people in Florida, you guys, because Amelia got 2 voter registration cards, one Democrat, one Republican. Now, Amelia is a registered Republican, but according to the state of Florida, she's also a registered Democrat.
yeah.
And there's the cards. There they are, live and in living color.
Yes, right here.
How
But
did
leave
you
it.
end up? Can I ask you? We never talked about this.
Right.
Now's a good time as anyone. There's a little lull in the action.
Right.
By the way, the first uh the first leader tonight to reach 270 electoral votes will be declared the president-elect of the United States. That's the magic number. Now, that number will go a lot higher than 270, but you need at least that much from the Electoral College to be declared president. As I said, and the people don't like it when I say this, but I'm going to tell you the truth. Your vote counts only in this regard.
Yes.
If there's a tie at the Electoral College, they go to the popular vote. Why is that important? Because the last time that happened, George Bush became president, but it took the Supreme Court to make it happen.
Correct.
Because right now we'd be talking about Al Gore as the president instead of George Bush at the time.
Absolutely. And to me it was stolen from Al Gore because to me he should have won.
Well, you and 40, 50 million other people do.
Absolutely.
One of the things we're going to talk about tonight is how each state tends to vote tradition, except for the Northeast.
Right.
The Northeast, where I live, is the only part of the country that you never know what the hell is going to happen.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. I live in New Jersey. Okay. We are as red can be. Okay. But the last 2 presidential elections, New Jersey went 80% blue.
Hmm.
Because if you break it, see what they do, Amelia, is they break it down by county.
Yes.
It's by county, by state, by nation. But here's the thing. Even in the state, you can have split votes.
Oh, wow.
Yes. New Jersey's divided into 2 halves. Northern New Jersey and Southern New Jersey. Northern New Jersey is aristocratic, lot of money, people of power, people of note. A lot of celebrities live in North Jersey. I live in Southern New Jersey, which is blue collar, working class, get your hands dirty, punch in at 8, punch out at 5. Regular working people. We tend to vote more Democratic in the southern part of the state. The northern part of the state tends to vote much more red.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now, the last time we had an election here of notability, our governor, Phil Murphy, who was elected twice, by the way, he's a Democrat.
Mm.
Our governor was elected twice. He's a Democrat. Who elected him? People in North Jersey.
Mm.
Because they had more people that were willing to go out. But Phil Murphy's the guy who caters to the rich, the powerful, the celebrity. He forgot all about the people in the South.
Mm.
So they went, yeah, screw you, Phil.
Wow.
Yeah. So the votes that were cast were almost all from North Jersey. So this is what we're talking about, though. And it's important because the closer to New York you get, the bluer it gets. You know?
Yes.
And so people need to understand that we're talking about, here we go. In Indiana, the United States Senate race
Oh.
is Jim Banks is 72% of the vote. Valerie McRae has 26% of the vote. Right now, Donald Trump has 68% of the vote. Kamala Harris has 33% of the vote. So President Trump is leading exactly by double.
Yeah, and I just saw that in Georgia.
With 1%, I'm sorry, Amelia, with 1% of the vote undecided. Go ahead, Neil.
Donald Trump has 68% of the vote right now in Georgia. He's leading by that much right now. But
he's leading across the country right now, 68% to 33% for Vice President Harris. Mm-hmm. First results are coming in from the Midwest, by the way, which is interesting. Indiana and Kentucky. Of course, Kentucky, they call it Kentucky bluegrass, but I got news for you, folks. Kentucky is anything but blue.
Yeah.
They are a very, very red state. And if you don't believe that, drive through sometime and tell them you're from New Jersey.
I had
because I did, and I almost got killed.
I had to renew. You know how every so many years you have to renew your ID or driver's license.
Yeah,
I had to renew, and I told him, I said, by the way, a few years ago, y'all sent me a Democratic card. I'm not Democrat. I don't know why y'all thought I was, but I need the Republican card. And they sent me again Democrat, but
I still want to know. Who registered you as a Democrat? Because somebody had to. You have. But here, I don't get it. Because you have to like physically be there to do that.
Yeah, I put in,
Let me ask you a question. The magic question of the night has to be, did you lose your mind or something? Did you go?
I checked off the box where it says Republican.
You might have. Oh, wait a minute. Let me tell you what we had to do today. I did not know that they no longer do the levers. Where you push the lever, you have a paper and you got to circle it.
Yes.
Did you know that?
Yeah, like you're taking a test.
Yeah, like you're taking a test, exactly.
Yeah.
And then she puts it through the machine, and it goes, "Congratulations, your vote counted." I went, "Oh shit."
And I was like, are you sure this is going to count? Because I want to make sure it doesn't get burnt or anything. And they looked at me like I was crazy.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Well, I cast my vote today. I'm not telling anybody who I voted for. Donald Trump. And
right, Trump.
Donald Trump. And but look, I live in an area that's very red.
Yes.
You can drive down any street and there are Trump signs everywhere. But by the same token, the closer you get to Philadelphia, you guys see Harris signs all over the place.
Oh, yes, everywhere.
Now, I'll give you a perfect example. There's a place in New Jersey called Camden, New Jersey. Camden is predominantly African-American and Hispanic. Yes. 90% of Camden, New Jersey is Hispanic and African-American. There's Harris signs everywhere, except when you go into a little section of Camden called Kramer Hill,
Hmm.
and that's all red Republican area.
Wow.
And as soon as you go over into Philadelphia, well, there's Harris signs everywhere, everywhere, because Philadelphia votes tradition.
Hmm.
Philadelphia don't like nothing different. They like everything to be the same.
So if you put Christmas lights every year, the whole street's going to do the same thing every year. Nothing's going to change then, right?
By the way, you'll be interested to know that Vice President Harris, as we said on the show last night, Vice President Harris had a political not fundraiser. She had a political rally last night with Lady Gaga and Beyonce and Jay-Z and Rihanna and who the hell else showed up?
Oprah Winfrey, I saw, was there.
Oprah Winfrey was there, and they drew about 35,000 people. They were expecting 150,000. I think they got the message.
And remember when Donald Trump was in Madison Square Garden? He sold out the place. Plus, there was people waiting outside.
Plus the Fells Forum next door, absolutely.
Mhm.
And there were people outside, and they had to pump in the audio from outside. They had
Yeah.
big speakers out there. Let's talk about, Amelia,
Yes.
results and updates. What are we looking at right now?
They're looking at Fayette County right now. I guess they're, like you said, they're doing county by county right
Okay.
now. So they still haven't.
Yeah, they're reporting, as I just mentioned, Philadelphia. They are reporting live right now from Philadelphia, talking about in early election results from the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, my hometown where I grew up, where I was born. Looks like President Trump has a commanding lead in the city of Philadelphia right now. In fact, it looks like a lot of people hanging around Independence Hall, where the Liberty Bell is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Amelia? Have you ever been to Philadelphia?
No, I haven't, but I've wanted to go see that bell for a very long time.
Well, you might want to get there while it's still there.
Oh,
Because if Kamala Harris becomes president, she may steal the bell, melt it down, and make jewelry out of it. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, you might want to go check out the Liberty Bell. If you've never been there, it's a great family destination. You, Jeff, and Joseph, you might want to take a ride. Or fly up, or it's easier. It's nicer to ride up, to be honest with you.
Yes. That would be so nice. Just the scenery, just to take it
Yeah,
in.
you see all the countryside. I love the drive.
The last time I was,
My wife hates it. I love my wife dearly, but she can't be in a car for more than 2 hours,
really,
and she gets a little cranky.
the last time I was anywhere was in Washington. We went to Washington D.C. I was in choir class in high school, and that was so beautiful. We went to Washington D.C. Toured there. We went to West Virginia. The flowers around there. Oh my God!
I got lost in Washington my first time. Don't ask me how. I don't know how I did it. I literally don't know how I did it. But somehow, I'm not even making this up, folks. You can ask the security guard that stopped me.
Uh-huh.
I'm not even kidding. Somehow I made it to the back of the White House.
Oh, wow!
I'm not kidding. They said, how? And the guy was real cool about it. He goes, because he was Secret Service.
Uh-huh.
He was Secret Service. He goes, sir, he goes, sir, would you stay, how did he say? Sir, please stay still. I said, I'm not moving, brother. Because he had this big shiny gun, and I was like, dude, I'm not moving, bro. He goes, how did you get here? I said, I just was driving, and I got to pull over. I got tired. I pulled over. I wanted to walk around and get some air. He says, how did you get onto the grounds? I said, that gate's open right there. And he goes, and the gate was open. I'm not kidding you. You can't, folks, listen to me, ladies and gentlemen, please. You can't make this shit up. Okay? We're the only news program on the air right now that can say shit. You know why? Because I own the network.
Did they maybe have that gate open for like for deliveries, you think, or something like that? Probably.
I think I know what happened.
Hmm.
And he thinks he knows what happened too. They have a detail that drives on the White House grounds every night. And
Oh.
what they do, no, listen, what they do, it's important.
Mhm.
What they do is really important, and they take their lives in their hands doing it. Because these Secret Service guys, they drive around. You don't know they're Secret Service, though.
Mm-mm.
You don't know till they flash their badge and take their gun out. When you see that piece of metal come out, I ain't moving, baby. You know, I'm not moving. Um, so what happens is they come onto the property, they drive around the White House, around the fence perimeter,
Mhm.
and they look for breaches
Oh.
in the fence. Because it's patrolled by vehicle, radar, camera, um, helicopter. I mean, every kind of
Yeah.
surveillance in the world is eyeballing the White House, especially if the boss is there.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
know, if the boss is there, you ain't getting nowhere near that building.
No.
You
Mm-mm.
could forget it. I found out something else too. I'm going to give a little secret away. In the back of the White House, there's benches you can sit down on,
Mhm.
and there's a lot of like homeless people.
Mhm.
They're
Oh yeah.
not homeless people, folks. They're all Secret Service agents, and they lay out there in the cold and the heat. And when it's nice, when it's miserable, when it's raining, they're out there.
We did see a lot of
It-
them around the White House. Yes, we did.
yeah. And guess what? You will not, I promise you will not breach the White House, not with those guys, because
Mm-mm.
they don't play.
Oh no, we.
This is live election coverage of 2024, the presidential election.
Mhm.
America votes tonight. Donald J. Trump and Vice President, former President, I should say, Donald J. Trump and Vice President, current sitting Vice President Kamala Harris are going head to head to face off who gets the White House.
Yeah.
Tonight's the night. All the talk is done. I hope to God that both of these people treat each other civil. Whoever wins, whether it's he or a she, you know, whether we get a boy or a girl,
Right? Whoever
as
the
Amelia likes to say, are we getting a boy or a girl? Who's in
the
the? Oh,
gender
here you go.
reveal.
Leon. Oh, Leon is my reporter on scene. Leon says Trump is way ahead in Indiana. Yes,
3.6.
we are being told.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
It's coming out now, folks. Philadelphia is the first nation, I'm sorry, the first city in the country to claim foul. Philadelphia officials address claims of massive cheating.
Oh wow.
Oh, man, here it comes. By the way, just in the state of Pennsylvania alone, and you're not even going to believe this, folks, when I tell you, in Pennsylvania alone, more than 100 lawsuits have already been filed.
What?
I'm not even kidding you. I'm Leon, please do me a favor. Validate that for me, please. And make sure that we have the information right. Because Amelia thinks that I'm full of caca.
No, I don't. I'm just thinking, oh my God, they're already start Harris's campaign is already starting already.
Well, we don't know who's starting.
Yeah.
We don't. It just says cheating. It doesn't say he or she. It's.
Yeah.
I'm just a reporter tonight.
Who's gonna get custody of us for the next 4 years?
Who? Yeah, right. Who's going to get custody? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
right?
Leon and Rosie are here. All right, Leon, check that out for me, brother.
Because they're saying Indiana is 55% for 60 58% for for Donald Trump right now. Vice President is the let's see, 40 something percent right now. So
Not 40. I need numbers, Amelia. Don't give me.
they just passed. I'm sorry, they're
She
doing the Senate
Amelia
right now.
doesn't. Amelia, I know that you don't like
Oh,
Vice President Harris,
Kentucky
but
is 66
we
percent.
cannot show our bias tonight. We have to
So
be.
Kentucky 66.3 for Donald Trump, and Vice President Harris is 33% right now.
And I have to tell you something. You're going to laugh when I tell you this,
Uh-huh.
but I know the lawyer that's on TV right now in
And
Philadelphia. I know that lawyer.
oh my goodness.
I know him. I know who he is. I
Right
know
now,
who he is.
right now they haven't
Wow.
released any electoral votes for any of the for Vice President
All right,
Harris
and
or Donald Trump.
that was from Philadelphia City Hall. Philadelphia officials claim massive cheating
Mhm.
in the presidential election of 2024. We should also note that in the state of Ohio, in the state of Ohio,
Mhm.
there are reports that massive mail-in ballots are being counted as we speak right now. And I believe Leon is here. Okay.
Also,
Scott. Hey, Scott. From I took 2 hours to wait. Yeah, I got news for you, Scott. There's 2 3 hour lines in New Jersey to vote. Some of them still right now.
and
My
Kentucky.
wife and I were very lucky. We got in and out of the voting booth in 20 minutes from the time we walked in to the time we walked out. We got very, very fortunate. Again, one of my neighbors, a woman who I've known for
Mhm.
40 years, she was working the polls, and
Yeah.
she goes like this to me: "That table."
Mhm.
I went, you don't want to take care of me, person? She says, "You're not in my district."
That table
apparently,
there.
apparently, my street
Mhm.
is a split district.
Mm.
One side of the street is District 1.
Mhm.
The other side is District 2, apparently.
Yeah,
I'm
do
just
it by
found this
that.
out today.
Mhm. Yeah.
Here's the funny thing. I went to the firehouse today. Scott, you're going to love this one because you know where the place is at. I went to the firehouse today to vote. I walked in. I said, "Man, very nice lady there, with the voting person, counting, votes and all this other stuff, right?" She says, I said to her, "Ma'am, can you tell me, please, if I'm registered to vote? I haven't voted in a really, really, really long time." And she starts laughing at me. She says, "Well, let's start with your driver's license. Let me see your driver's." So I give her my license, and she says, she looks, takes her a couple of minutes. She finds me, goes, "Oh, Mr. DeCipio, you're registered to vote."
Mhm.
She said, "But you have to go to the borough hall to vote."
Oh, wow, you're in the wrong place.
Well, wait a minute. I walked to this place. It's around the corner from my house. It took
Oh.
me it took me 2 minutes to walk there. That's how close it is to my house. But the firehouse is a different district
Mm.
than my. I literally here's my house. There's the firehouse.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
I'm not even kidding. Right, like that.
Mm.
All right. Oh, it's funny that I did that. The devil horns. We're going to change that to "I love you." There you go. There you go.
Yeah, girl. Yeah.
We're going to do a Jimmy Snuka on you. All right,
There
here we
you
go. So she says, "No, you have to vote at the borough hall, which
Mhm.
is the police station."
Hmm.
I thought she was trying to send me there for a reason.
Mm.
You know. Yep. Yeah. Leon's at Philly is reporting foul, running out of bounds. The people not registered getting. Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
that's why. Okay.
See, this happened the last time too, but it happened in New York last time.
Mm.
Remember all that commotion in New York during COVID?
Yes.
Here's the thing, okay? Imagine we have COVID going on and a presidential election. You want to talk about effed up, okay?
Yes.
That's effed up. I'm not going to use the F bomb tonight, folks. I promise. I'm going to keep it professional tonight. Leon, can you do me a favor? Because we're live here. I can't I can't go back. I would love to go back into the tape and look. Can you find out what the game plan is right now? Because these lawyers were talking, but I couldn't really speak and listen to what he was talking about at the same time. Amelia, what do you got there? What sense of belonging do you have there? What's going on? Talk to me.
Right now, the Kentucky is still the 66.2 for Donald Trump, and Vice President Harris is 32.2 right now. They're still stuck at that right now.
Okay.
And
what's happening? Do we know anything in?
Soon, first statewide closes in Georgia, Indiana, Kentucky, South Carolina.
Okay.
They gave us Vermont and Virginia.
Georgia. Here's what's going on in Georgia, Fulton County, Georgia. Again, massive mail-in ballots in Fulton County. They are reporting foul in Fulton County, Georgia. Interestingly enough, tomorrow night on the Chris Benoit investigation, you're going to hear a lot about Fulton County. That's where Chris Benoit lived at the time of his death. We're not going to say suicide or murder. We're just going to say death. He lived in Fulton County, Georgia, in a very affluent area, very, money area. Benoit, being a professional wrestler, made a lot of money, a ton of money, and had a very big, beautiful house with a lot of land in Fulton County, Georgia, which is a very well-to-do area. It's also a very highly Republican area. It's got pockets of heavy Republicans and a pretty strong Democratic hold there. Again, we're looking at Independence Hall in Philadelphia. What's going on there? Lawyers, a lot of lawyers in Philly right now. So, Amelia, we're going to be talking about looks like litigation.
Looks like it. Yeah.
Looks like we're going to be talking about litigation in the election of 2024. At least 100 lawsuits being filed in the state of Pennsylvania, the Keystone State, it's called. Why is it called the Keystone State? Do you know that answer, Amelia?
No, I do not.
Because Abraham Lincoln, back in the day in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, gave a keynote address that changed the course of the nation. Therefore, they called it now the Keystone State. He gave the keynote address. Anyway, that's what they say. That's the rumor. That's the folklore. Live election coverage of election 2024 will continue right after this.
Your customers expect to buy what they want, how they want. So you need a commerce platform that's flexible, customizable, and crazy fast. Shopify Plus is built to handle the complexity of your business, so you can focus on your brand and deliver a seamless customer experience across every device, country, and channel. Save time by turning manual tasks into powerful automated workflows. Target key markets with local currencies and unlimited storefronts. Increase conversion with personalized shopping and checkout experiences. And sell out in seconds, knowing we won't hold you back. Partner with the best commerce platform.
And we are back with live coverage of election 2024. Former President Donald J. Trump takes on the current defending, reigning Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris. Looking at nationally right now, Donald Trump is at 64%. Kamala Harris is at 30% nationally. In the state of New Hampshire, Donald Trump is 61%. Kamala Harris at 41% in the state of New Hampshire. In Kentucky, Donald Trump 70%. Kamala Harris, 40%. In the popular vote, Kamala Harris is at 40%. President Trump is at 61%. That's what we know now nationally. They're still coming in little drips and drabs. The state of New Hampshire seems to be echoing the national vote right now. In New Hampshire, at 60% for Donald Trump, 40% for Vice President Harris. And that number, it's funny because every time they show New Hampshire,
Right.
they show the popular vote right after it, and they're within 1 or 2 points
Right.
every time they show it, which is interesting. Indiana, we're looking at the popular vote in Indiana. It looks like Donald Trump at 67%. In Indiana, Kamala Harris at 34% in the state of Indiana. They call that the Hoosier state.
Right.
Indiana's the Hoosier state. The Hoosiers are the sports team. I guess you have to ask Jeff or Joseph to find out exactly
They
what
know
that
more
is.
sports than anything.
Because they know every sport. Okay, here we go. We got our chat box. Leon, 1863. Thank you, Leon, in Gettysburg.
Yeah.
Leon, you lived in Fulton County. Leon, give me a sense of what Fulton County, Georgia, looks like politically. Because Leon's been around a little bit, but he's still younger than me. So what's it looking like there, Leon?
It looks like Kentucky still, they're doing 67.3% and 31.5% for Kentucky. So it's still kind of, like you said, flip-flopping still too.
Yeah, Leon's, and most polls are still open. Too soon to call anything. Yep, it's absolutely too soon to call. Lincoln's speech turned war. The Union was, that was exactly right. That's why I said Lincoln gave that speech and changed the course of the country. So, Amelia, it looks like we're not going to get anything from the West Coast until at least, it looks at least 9 p.m. Eastern time. Because the polls don't close in California. The first closings in California are 7 p.m.
Right.
So that's 10 p.m. On the East. That means that by 10:30, we should have a pretty good idea, a pretty solid idea of which way California's 59 electoral votes are going to go.
Right.
Traditionally, California has always been kind of up for grabs.
Yes.
But again, California is a lot like New Jersey. It's split into Northern California and Southern California, just like Northern New Jersey and Southern New Jersey. Right. That this time, though, in California, the roles are reversed because the wealthier people live in Southern California, celebrities, movie stars, high-profile business people, Elon Musk. Talking about people with a lot of money in Southern California. The Northern California, not poor, they're by no stretch are they poor, but they don't have the kind of income that Southern California does. So you're going to see kind of the Northern California voting for Vice President Harris. The Northern California voting for Trump. Southern California, more progressive, is going to vote for Kamala Harris, but don't forget that movie stars, actors, actresses, they love her.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they're stupid, okay? Which means you don't have to be smart to be rich. If you don't believe that, just look at Bill Gates. Right. Bill Gates is one of the dumbest SOBs walking the planet. Doesn't have a clue what his name is unless you spell it for him. Right. But he's got more money than he knows what. He'll never live long enough to spend all that money.
Yes.
Okay.
And Texas was like that too. It did a flip-flop too, especially when the oil boom and everything was happening too. So it was doing a flip-flop all the time. And lately it's been red lately. So who knows what it's gonna do. So
Atlanta is a Democrat, Leon says. The rest of the county is Republican, which kind of is, like I said, Fulton County has a heavy Republican base because there's money there.
absolutely.
Wherever you find a lot of money, with the exception of California,
Mhm.
because movie stars are stupid. We already talked about that.
Yes.
Southern California loves Kamala Harris.
Oh,
They love her.
Hollywood. You know what Hollywood?
Oh, they love her. Look
Yes.
at everybody showed up last night in Philadelphia. Oprah Winfrey, Lady Gaga. Who else was there? The Jay-Z, Beyonce, Rihanna. Every rapper under the sun showed up.
They say Satan had his people around. I'm sorry to say
Yeah,
it, but
Satan had a party in the at the art museum in Philly last night.
his people.
There's, in fact, we're in commercial break right now, on the news here, and I have to show you what they're showing here on what they're showing. It was funny because they're showing. They just showed Philadelphia, but I want to show you it. That's Washington D.C. We'll be back. It says, but we are live, ladies and gentlemen. So there's living proof that we're live and in color.
Do you have MSNBC on? Because I have CNN.
No, I'm a Fox guy.
Mm.
I only watch Fox. The reason I do,
I'm gonna change that because
and Atlanta, Georgia is all lit up in bright colors. So a lot of red in Georgia, I see.
Yeah, because I think it's like I probably need to change it to the real news, huh? And watch the better news instead of CNN, like MSNBC or something.
MSNBC.
Is
You want to lose? You want to lose this job real fast?
Should I keep it at CNN?
MSNBC, please. All right, Denver, Colorado. They're showing Denver, Colorado. It is 5:00 in Denver.
Yes.
It's 5:00 in Denver right now, and it's where are? Oh, here we go. Wow.
It looks like they
Donald Trump is destroying Kamala Harris in the state of Kentucky.
and Indiana
75% to 30% in Kentucky.
Oh,
That's what Fox News has just reported.
yeah.
The popular vote shows President Trump nationally at 64%, Vice President Harris at 38%. That's a commanding lead, but the night is still young, and there's a lot of states on the West Coast that have not yet been counted. There are a lot of people in Philadelphia tonight. I don't know what's going on in Philly, but I don't know if Kamala Harris is in Philadelphia still.
She's at her headquarters from her alma mater, where she went to college. That's what they said that she was going to be watching from.
Oh, okay. Well, because there are a lot of people in Philadelphia. She is in Washington. Oh, wait, hold on. Connor Hansen live in Washington, D.C. Kamala Harris right now is at her hotel watching the election results with some of her close advisors. Let's see. She has issued a statement. We're tied. Every vote matters. We're not tied, Kamala. I got news for you. You're getting destroyed.
Is she watching the
It
same?
ain't tied yet. You got a long way to go for you're tied.
Yeah.
And the last person I would be taking pictures with is Joe Biden right now.
Yeah, because I know that Donald Trump's going to be coming to his Mar-a-Lago place here. I know that that's where he's going to end up eventually, but I know that they had
How
said
far
something
is Mar-a-Lago from where you are?
a few hours from what I hear, but I know that they had said something about she was going to be at her alma mater college or something like that. But he's not too far from where I am,
Okay.
and I know that he's going to have his family, and of course, a lot of
Democratic
people.
Vice Presidential nominee Tim Walz,
Mhm.
Kamala Harris's running mate Tim Walz, has just issued a statement asking everyone to get out and vote. We're going to go to the chat room again. Our friend Leon is there. AT Webs. We're not talking about the Chris Benoit show tonight. Mike Murphy is always invited to come on the show. AT Webs says, well, you're a first timer here, AT. AT Webs, will Mike Murphy come in to talk about Benoit? I don't know, but he's invited. Of course, he's invited. I don't know who AT Webs is, but we're not talking about wrestling
Oh,
tonight, so
they
they're
just
gone.
confirmed that Donald Trump got Kentucky with the 8 electoral votes. He just won Kentucky.
Okay, we can safely say, I think, without fear of retribution, Donald Trump has carried easily the state of Kentucky, which has always been a traditionally red state. They
And
did not disappoint. Kentucky, all its eight electoral votes have gone to Donald J. Trump, former president of the United States.
and Vice President Kamala Harris got Vermont. They just confirmed that she has gotten Vermont.
And how many electoral votes in Vermont?
Three.
Three electoral votes for Kamala Harris
Mhm.
in the state of Vermont. Vermont is a traditionally blue state anyway. They have always voted. Vermont has never in its history voted red.
They
Never.
never.
It's never happened, but it won't.
Yeah. So they had just confirmed that. So right now, um, they are bringing in. Okay, Florida is coming in. She's got a small lead of 51% to Donald Trump 48% in Florida right now, but that's just one county.
Okay, we got the
in Florida.
2 minute warning. 2 minute warning from Leon. Polls are starting to close. It's 7 p.m. on the East Coast. This is live coverage of the 2024 presidential election. The contenders are former U.S. President Donald Trump versus the current sitting, defending, reigning bullshit champion of the world. We're going to call it. I'll be nice. I'll call her Vice President Harris because she is the Vice President.
Yeah,
I'll be nice tonight.
You had me be nice, so I guess you have to be nice.
I'll be nice. I'll be good.
We have to be professional.
I will be professional. I'll be good. Even though she is a BSer, okay? Because she's just tell the truth, lady. Will you? Come on.
It is November the 5th, the 11th month of the year, the 5th day of the month.
Well, go ahead, Amelia. Tell everybody what's happening.
Right now in Fulton County, they're just doing the counties by county, and I think it is in Georgia right now. So they're just doing the county by county right now. They're going back to 2020, how Biden had the vote. So they're just still going back how it was from 2020. So I don't know why they're doing that. They're idiots. There should be, these reporters should be going how it's going right now in 2024. We're not in 2020 right now. So I don't know why they're going back from 2020 and then now 2012. They should be telling us what the results are right now. So I don't know why they're going back in the past instead of the future or the present, actually. I don't. And how Hillary had the 2016 votes. I don't know why they're doing that at this time. So I guess they're doing some comparison shop, I guess. So at this time, I guess they're comparing how Trump had certain counties. I don't know why.
I love watching you squirm.
No, I just don't know. They're doing the 2016 and then the 2020 instead of
I just
2024.
love watching you squirm. So what I did is I stuck Amelia out to dry here. Let's see what she can hang. Okay, for a minute. Florida, 1%. It's only 1% has been counted in Florida.
Yeah, they still
Okay,
haven't done anything. Okay, right now it's 57% to 42% in Florida right
in
now.
Florida, that is
Right
correct.
now.
Right
They
now, don't forget now. We have just the polls literally just closed
they just
in
closed at 7
Florida.
o'clock. Yes, correct.
So we have a long way to go.
Yes.
We
And
have a very, very long way to go before we do anything with regard to
they've only counted
to,
7
to
counties.
calling, and we know for sure we can call. Absolutely, we can call the state of Kentucky.
Mhm.
We cannot yet call Ohio. Ohio is one of those states, again, another swing state.
Mhm.
Swing means it can go either way.
Correct.
And Leon is our man in the field out there. Leon, you'll absolutely get a credit on tonight's show for that, for sure. Thank you for hanging with us, Leon. Appreciate you. Amelia, what does it look like in Texas right now? Your
They
home state of Texas.
they haven't mentioned Texas as of yet because they're doing all the East Coast right now. Because
Amelia, what's it look like in Texas right now?
they haven't said anything for Texas because it's 6 p.m. The polls are still open till 7.
You want me to tell you what it looks like in Texas?
Sure, because I haven't told me anything for Texas yet. I'm watching CNN.
It's dark in Texas. That's what it's doing in Texas. It's dark.
Well, the polls haven't closed yet. They have an hour to go.
I know, but it's still dark.
It's dark here too, and guess what?
It's
It's
6 o'clock in Texas.
Guess what? You want some of the rain that's come here? Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Please, yes, we need the rain.
Anybody?
Okay, it looks like in the state of Indiana, in the state of Indiana, Donald Trump is carrying by a vast majority, it looks like, thus far. And it looks like Indiana will get a brand new senator. I'm going to talk about him in a minute because he's one of these Trump guys that Donald Trump actually endorsed. Oh, by the way,
Thank you,
Amelia,
Leon
what do
and
you
Rosie.
think about Joe Rogan endorsing Donald Trump publicly?
That was a surprise.
Thank you for elaborating on that, Amelia.
No, I was thinking Leon and Rosie because he agrees with me about the polls still opening in Texas. Thank you.
The polls are open. Yeah, we know the polls are open. I think Leon's going to end up taking your place on this show. I got news for you.
Leon,
Oh
come
my
on
God!
down.
Does anybody want a slightly used TV? I'm sorry, radio talk show host here? I was trying to promote her before I fired her. TV.
Captain Miserable to defend me. By the way, Pastor Steve had some things to do today, so he wasn't able to join us, but he sends his love and thoughts. So, by the way.
Yeah, thank you for that. I already talked to Steve. Did I tell you that?
Yes, but I'm telling everybody here that he wasn't able to join us because
I'm sure they're very grateful of your information. Thank you, Ray.
Because he was supposed to join us tonight, and people knew
I
that.
know he was supposed to join us, but he had some things because he's a pastor and pastors do things.
I know.
Anyway,
but so far, let's see. Okay, there. I guess.
All right. Being called right now, Donald Trump has picked up Indiana and Kentucky. Harris, Vice President Harris, has won the state of Vermont.
Yes.
It looks like their early calling in Indiana and Kentucky shows major leads for President Trump. They're calling it for Donald Trump in in Indiana and Kentucky, Vermont. It goes to Vice President Harris. That's
what got the electoral votes for Kentucky, which is 8, and she got the 3 for Vermont. So
Amelia, let's talk serious. What does another Trump presidency mean for the United States?
I think that he will help us out more economically as far as lowering down prices. I think that he will get us where he was trying to get us before and get us more jobs. Try to, get everybody back to where we should have been, bring back the jobs here where they should be, and get everyone to that shouldn't be here legally out of here. And if you want to be here legally, he'll make it to where you a way to where you should be here legally. Follow the right steps
Okay.
to get here legally. Because if you want to be here, better your life for your kids, then do it right.
Well, you know what, Amelia? You come from Texas, a state that's been in the news a lot lately because of its proximity to Mexico.
Right.
We should tell everyone, in the interest of full disclosure, Amelia is Mexican. She is a full-blooded Mexican, and has lived in Texas her entire life until fairly recently. Her husband and she moved with their son to Florida,
Hmm.
and so you know what it's like in Texas with people trying to come over the border. How bad is it really? Take a few minutes and tell people what, like, because we don't see it up here.
Right.
So I want to throw this camera your way. Tell everybody what happens there in Texas. What really goes on?
It is so bad because as far as if you're working somewhere, no matter if it's a restaurant or uh you know 9 to 5 job or retail, you get people coming in like for example, I worked at Lowe's, and you get these construction people coming in, and they don't speak any English, and you have to speak to them in Spanish. And a lot of people that work at retail, like Lowe's, for example, they didn't speak English or Spanish, so they had to have me come in translate for them. And they're like, "Yeah, we're here from Mexico. We're trying to better ourselves, but we have to send money to our wives." And I'm like, "Well, how are you here?" "Well, the guy that hired us knows that we're here legally, and he has to make sure that he pays us under the table, or we're here with my cousin ID, and he knows that we're here, and we're having to use his ID to be able to cash our checks because we look so much alike." And I'm like, "Well, that's illegal. You shouldn't your cousin or your brother-in-law or somebody get in trouble." And they're like, "Well, we don't care." Or when I worked at a loan place, the female cousin or the female sister or sister-in-law, whoever, would allow them to use their ID to take loans out. And of course, that person would be responsible for paying back the loan. And we'd call them and say, "Hey, you have a loan due." And they go, "Well, no, that's not me. I let my cousin or so and so use my ID." So I'm like, "Okay, but why did you do that? That's fraud. You'll get in trouble for that." And so I was like, "That should not be allowed. You're letting somebody use your information to take a loan out." And so what I would turn around and do, I would call the police and say, "Look, this person let so and so use their
Yeah.
information
I
for that."
find that fascinating
Mhm.
because I've heard that stuff like that happens.
It
You
does.
hear stuff like that, but
Yeah.
you never like talk to anybody who really experienced it like yourself.
It would anger me so much that they would allow them to do that.
Well, but here's the thing, though: is it the state that allows them, or is it just people, or do they do it because they don't want to they don't want to do the paperwork?
They don't want to do the paperwork.
And that's the real reason. That's the real reason. Nobody wants to. Who wants to get bogged down in paperwork?
I
Police officers. Check this out. Check this out. You know why most cops don't give a crap about anything? They just let you do what you want to do. And most of them will too.
Mhm.
You know why they'll let you get away with shit? Because they don't want to do the paperwork.
No.
It takes them hours,
Oh yeah.
pages
I've
and
seen the
pages of
paperwork.
reports to write, one report after the other. They don't want to do that. They want to go out and do police work.
Oh yeah.
They
Eh,
don't want to mess around with doing reams of paper,
Uh-uh. And I
you
had a
know?
neighbor that I knew stole from me one time because they were next door from me, and they stole from me. And I said, you know what? I know that you're here illegally. I called them, the people that deporting people. I called them and I said, so and so here is illegal and they're not married to them. They haven't been here. They came and got them and took them back to Mexico. And they're like,
Leon says that Kamala Harris is narrowing the lead in Georgia.
mhm,
I'm a little suspect of that, and I'm going to tell you why.
mhm,
I believe that Georgia is going to be a problem tonight. And I believe Georgia is going to be a problem because they gave President Trump such a hard time during his trial or
yes,
kangaroo court, if you want to call it that,
mhm,
because it was no way was it a fair trial.
uh-huh,
But with regard to that, I think you're going to see Georgia play
mhm,
as prominently, maybe even more so than Pennsylvania.
right.
As I think Georgia has always given Donald Trump a problem, and
Mhm.
he loves Georgia,
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
and the people there love him. But the politicians, listen to me.
Mhm.
You mark my words. I'm going to tell you the truth. The politicians in Georgia do not like Donald J. Trump.
No.
The reason they don't like him is because he says something and he does it. They don't like people who actually do what they say they're going to do. They would much rather you give them lip service than the truth because they know how to spin lip service. How do you spin the truth? You can't spin the truth. Do you understand that?
Right.
You can't spin the truth. It is what it is, what it is.
Right.
All right. Talk to me, you guys. What's that in the field? Leon says Georgia is the 2024, Florida. Exactly.
Right
That's what I
now,
said. Leon, good for you.
it's not definite, of course, but 52% to 46% lead in Florida right now. Trump, 52% right now. But of course, as you said, the polls are still coming in. And Donald Trump has 19 electoral votes. Harris has 3 right now, as we
A
speak.
man who I respect deeply. And I've never met this man, but I respect the hell out of him. Kenneth Jarrett Singleton. I have to get this man on the show sometime.
Mhm.
He's probably one of the smartest guys. Him and Ruffian
Yes.
are probably the smartest guys in our consistently in our chat. And we got a lot of smart people
Yes,
in
we
our
do.
chat. He says today Georgia judge stopped the Democrats from ballot harvesting.
Oh,
Now, if you guys don't know what ballot harvesting is, it's a way of bolstering the vote without having to do much work. Okay. In other words, like I said just a few moments ago, I think Georgia's going to be a problem.
you did. You
I
called
said
it.
that
You called it.
not 2 minutes ago. I said that.
You called it before the show too. You called
I
before we went
called
live.
it. I said that.
You did.
I said
You did.
we're going to have a problem in Georgia.
And you said that about California too. You said that.
California has always been problematic. Why?
did.
Because the delegates in California,
Mhm.
they can't agree among themselves.
No.
Okay, it's the only state in the country, California, that allows split delegates. Why? Because they have so many of them.
Yes.
I mean, is 2 or 3 delegates going to make a difference in California? No.
No.
Nationally, it may, but not in California. Let's see. Ruffian says the court cases were just a poor attempt to stain his name, and I totally agree with you. I talked to a coworker, and they didn't know anything about the case. There were too many low information voters. That's the problem. A big, big problem is uneducated, uninformed. I don't want to use this, but I have to use this word. Dummy down voters. I just have to say it. That they don't understand what they're doing. and it's just the only way I can really put it. There are a lot of dummy down voters that don't know what they're doing, don't know who the. I know right now of a person who voted in 2020 who thought that she was voting for Donald Trump. Okay, but the way the ballot was written, it had the on one side it had Donald Trump's, check, check, check.
Right.
On the other side it had Joe Biden, check, check,
Oh
check. Right?
no, he voted.
The wrong side is what she voted. Yep.
Oh no.
Yes, she did. Yes, indeed.
Mm-mm.
All right, let's look. Okay, Rick Scott, the former governor of Florida, Rick Scott, will be declared Florida's new senator.
Oh dear.
Former governor, now the senator. That's going to be interesting because he's a Democrat and Ron DeSantis is a Republican. And I know that these guys don't like each other.
No, the only time that he stepped up for us is when we had that one hurricane that one time, and that's the only time he stepped for us for the state of Florida.
Yeah.
Ron DeSantis stepped up for us when we had both hurricanes coming, and of course he stepped for us like 2 weeks in advance for each one of them.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And he was there for us, and he looked so tired for each one of them.
The balance of power may take a tip in the Senate. It looks like right now, again, early voting, it looks like the state of Florida. I'm going back to the state of Florida. It looks like the state of Florida may tip the balance of power at the moment in the Congress. We will see what happens. Again, early. This is early. With just a couple of percentage points of the vote in. But Rick Scott and Democrat. It looks like Rick Scott, former governor of Florida, may be the next senator from Florida. We will see shortly when Florida starts counting more of its votes. Right now, Fox News is reporting that Rick Scott is up ahead of Debbie, what is their name, by a few points. Stop.
And they're reporting right now that Florida 57% for former President Donald Trump and 41% for Vice President Kamala Harris so far.
Right. Those numbers are going to be up and down all night. They're going to fluctuate all night, and they have to. They have to, because again, this is just the beginning of the vote. The polls on the East Coast, the polls just closed.
Yes.
And some of them are open till 8.
Yes, North Carolina is about to close pretty soon. Is one of them. Ohio is about to be closing pretty soon.
I want people to know how this works too, Amelia. Your vote is counted as soon as you cast your vote.
It is.
As soon as you vote, your vote is counted. It goes in electronically. People ask, how can they count the votes so quickly? Well, they're all done by machine.
Yes.
When you have to, the problem is not the machinery. The problem is the people playing with the machinery.
Right.
The machines do their job. It's the people that are trying to do the job for the machine that gets them in trouble. For example, in the election of George Bush over Al Gore, the machines were so bad in Florida that they weren't puncturing the votes. You had the hanging Chad, the dimpled Chad, the punch Chad, all of these little things on paper ballots. These people were spending weeks counting by hand these ballots. You can't do that effectively because you get tired. Your eyes start seeing things.
They're like,
They were doing that for weeks, day and night, day and night. Finally, the Supreme Court said, okay, this is an emergency. Okay, show us your case. What do you got? And both sides argued the case before the Supreme Court, and George Bush won because his father was tight with the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
You want to know how that happened? Simple. His brother and his father and the Secretary of State in Florida, who was a bimbo and still is a bimbo, and
remains.
I'm even going to talk about that one because I get angry. Amelia,
Yes.
talk to everybody. What's going on here? Yeah, here we go.
Right
Butterfly.
now,
Oh yeah, my God, the butterfly
Georgia is
ballot.
very, very close right now. 50% for Donald Trump, and Harris is 49.2%. So they are very, very close right now for Georgia. New
For
Hampshire,
Georgia.
54% for Harris, and Donald Trump is 45%.
All right, here we go. Breaking news, folks. Breaking news from the state of Georgia. Georgia officials are pushing the courts to allow them to stay open later in Fulton County. And conversely, to stay open later in the state of Georgia. Georgia is reporting late turnout. They want people in Georgia to be able to vote. People are still coming home from work. People are eating dinner, of course. You know, this is we're still talking about. Don't forget that a lot of people get off at work at 7, 8 o'clock.
Right.
They work that afternoon shift, that swing shift they call it.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people are still dealing with work
and traffic. It could be a lot of traffic too. So
yeah, officials provide election update in Fulton County. Georgia officials pushing courts to stay open later. So that's what I told you. Georgia's going to be a problem, folks. It always is.
Always.
Because them rednecks in Georgia, they just want the way they want it. Guess what? Georgia is one of them places that does not like change.
Yeah.
If it was up to them, the Ku Klux Klan would be in the Senate still. And I said it. There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because I used to have a job where I worked 12 to 7 on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so I know kind of like what they're talking about. So it's like vote. So
yeah. What's happening in the chat room today? Leon. Let's see. Where's Leon? There's Leon. Hot damn. But yeah, butterfly. But Amelia, have you ever dealt with the butterfly ballot?
No, but is it the one where you had to punch the thing on there?
Horrible. The butterfly ballot was like literally like this.
Oh.
Okay? It opened up like this. And that's what my friend, this person I know, right? Or used to know, I should say. Used to know. They voted on this butterfly ballot, right? They thought they were voting for Donald Trump, but they were voting for Joe Biden instead. Because of the way the butterfly ballot is opened. Because you have these, they use levers, right?
Oh, no, I never
and
used
some of them you have to punch. It's just crazy stuff. Anyway, but the point is, it's a mess. Okay, the butterfly ballot is a mess. It should be outlawed.
Yeah,
it should be illegal.
If they're still using that, of course they should be outlawed. Yes.
Oh, here we go.
I like that one.
Yeah, I love this. Kenneth, time for the cemetery. Yes. Do you know in 2020, Kenneth, you're going to love this one. In 2020, this is a real number, folks. 100,000 people plus voted. Let me rephrase that. In 2020, 100,000 people, dead people plus, voted. More than 100,000 people in the United States, dead people voted. How did they do that? because your name is still out there. Guess what? It's going to come to light somewhere.
Yeah. I wonder if
I'm
that was the
watching
Day of the Dead kind of thing.
Fulton County is giving updates. The Democratic leader is begging, pleading for people. Everybody is grabbing the microphone in Georgia. Okay. This is called divide and conquer in Georgia. This is called watch Georgia fuck up the presidential election.
Yep, just like Florida
Okay.
did.
I dropped my
before.
first F-bomb of the night, folks. Okay. So much for maintaining my my decorum here.
You tried.
I tried. Absolutely. I tried.
Yeah.
Of course I did.
So
Bush
this
score was butterfly. Yep, it sure was.
So this time it wasn't Florida's
Yeah,
fault.
Lyndon Johnson invented that. Yes, he did. See, I'm old enough to remember this shit. Oh my God, jeez. Amelia, tell everybody what's happening. I'm going to go pour some coffee.
Okay. Well, right now they're still doing they're counting down the minutes for the next polls to close at 7:30. So right now they are still doing some projections. So hopefully we'll have something soon for everybody. They still okay. West Virginia, they just announced that he got the electoral votes for West Virginia. So we're gonna add another 4 points to Donald Trump. So it's still too early to call. So we are still trying to find out the more here. So Donald Trump has 23 electoral votes. Harris has 3 right now. So we are, like I said, she's got New Hampshire. So we are still trying to see what else is going to be coming out. So and they're still doing Georgia. So like I said, we're still going to see what's going to happen there. He is at 58%, and Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, is at 41%. So, like I said, the polls are still coming out. Virginia is still by a small margin at 49% for former President Donald Trump, and Kamala Harris is 48%. But like I said, it's still a small lead. So we're still going to find out what's going on. And Florida, 53% for former President Donald Trump. Vice President Kamala Harris is at 45%. It's still a neck and neck because, like I said, they're still trying to count down the votes. So hopefully we will find out a little bit more as the more votes come in. It'll be 30 electoral votes for Florida, whoever gets that. But New Hampshire has gone to Vice President Kamala Harris. So that is confirmed at this time. So we will find out. Our next polls will be closing at 28 minutes. So we will still be going on and see what's going on with that. But right now, Donald Trump is at 23 electoral votes. Vice President Harris is at 3 electoral votes. So as more of the polls come in, and like I said, we don't know what's going on with Georgia right now. So that is going to be still counted because, as they said, that they're still wanting to continue to see who else can vote. They're still doing it county by county. It's still too early to call for Georgia, North Carolina, Ohio, South Carolina, and Virginia. So we're still going to be doing that at this time. And 23 electoral votes for Donald Trump and 3.
I love watching you. I really, really do. I love watching.
No, I just announced that 23 electoral votes has gone to Donald Trump.
I know that. I just saw that. I've been sitting back here kind of watching you. Say, all right, let's see how she does. Folks, you have to understand something, folks. Amelia doesn't say much.
Plate of food over here.
She doesn't say much because she'd much rather be on TikTok right now singing to Naked Cowboys. But we have an election to cover. Let's see. Let's see here. Leon, Joe Fraser voted for Obama in Philadelphia. Yeah, exactly.
Fayette County. That is
exactly. That was a famous case, by the way. Joe Fraser, about who I knew Joe Fraser's son, Marvis Fraser. Joe Fraser passed away in 2010, but Joe, he voted for Obama. By God.
Bad choice. Bad choice.
Oh man, it's craziness. Okay. Officials in Georgia provide election update in Fulton County. Fulton County, Georgia is in trouble right now. They have been caught with their hand in the cookie jar, folks, trying to cheat the election already. The pieces of SH double bubblegum in
Just say double
in
hockey.
Georgia. I'm trying so hard to be nice.
Just say double hockey stick or one hockey stick. There you go.
I would say bubblegum.
Double gum.
All right, let's get back serious here. Okay, one of the things we're talking about is how this election may or may not change the economy.
Right.
Whatever happens, whoever ends up with the presidency and subsequently the White House, I hope to God, I pray to the heavens that they listen to their advisors and do the absolute opposite of what their advisors tell them to do. Okay? Because it seems like the same set of advisors for Republicans as there are for Democrats. In other words, they're giving them bad advice.
Right.
All right? One of the things that I liked about Donald Trump's presidency, when they let him be a president, when Nancy Pelosi wasn't busting his fucking balls, is that one of the things he did was he ran the country like a business.
He did.
He's a businessman. You have to run the country like a business. You know why? Because it is. The United States of America is a corporation, ladies and gentlemen. It's a corporation. Read the Constitution. Read the Declaration of Independence. Okay? Read them. They're contracts. They're business contracts. They're corporate contracts. Read them. After you have fully read them, if you think that I'm a crazy man who's just spouting garbage, then go ahead and believe it.
Right.
But I'm telling you the truth. I will never lie to you. I should run for president because they say that too. I'll never lie.
CNN projects that Trump wins Indiana, Kentucky, and West Virginia, and Harris wins Vermont. That's what they're projecting.
So far.
So far.
We are looking at, what are we looking at in the Midwest? How about Ohio? What are we looking at in Minnesota?
Close the poll for Ohio right now, so they're still counting that right now.
All right, nothing in from Ohio. Okay.
No, thank you for being our field reporter, Leon. He just posted that.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Leon's one of our guys. Absolutely, for sure. Leon is my field reporter. I love having Leon and Rosie here.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much also for doing all the editing too for all our shows, by the way. You do a fantastic job.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It's nice to hear it once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for squirming. I like watching you squirm.
Rick Scott did take that. It looks like 54%, 44%.
So Rick Scott is the new former governor of Florida, is now the new senator from Florida.
Yes.
I called it before it happened, folks.
Yes, you did. Yes.
That's good coffee. I had to get myself some coffee, folks.
You got the whole pot.
I made the whole pot, and there's the last of it right there. Oh, by the way, just so you know, I voted today. There it is. It's on my cup. Says I voted. I did. My wife and I went to the police station today in our town, because that's where they have the where they have the polling place out on the Borough Hall. We call it the Borough Hall. It's the police station is what it is.
Right.
And they set up the polling place there, and we voted today. My wife and I. I think it might be the first time Anita ever voted. No, I'm sure she would. No, I know. My wife used to work for a senator.
Hmm.
I'm not going to say his name on the air, but he was a very well-known New Jersey senator, and he was Anita's boss for a long time till he passed away.
Oh.
And he would always say to her, "Did you vote? Did you register? Did you vote Democrat?" And if she didn't vote Democrat, he would give her a handful.
Mhm.
See, in New Jersey, you can register Democrat, Republican, Independent. You can register whatever you want.
Right.
But in the state of New Jersey, you can only vote Republican or Democrat
Oh wow.
because they don't. It's the state charter, the way they set up New Jersey.
Yes.
You have to vote for, because we're one of the original 13 colonies.
All right.
You have to vote Democrat or Republican. Period. Yeah, you can't vote for independent. Like if I tried to vote for Jesse Ventura,
Right.
I couldn't do that.
Oh wow.
No. They won't even put his name is on the ballot. You could vote for him, but it won't count because they only count Democrats and Republicans.
Hmm.
You can't make this up. There were four names on the presidential line. It said Trump, Harris, X, and Y.
Oh
Okay?
wow.
Four names. But you can't vote for, you could vote for X and Y,
Not gonna count.
but it won't count.
Here you can do independent, Republican, or Democrat. And it's so funny because Jeff's always has been Republican. His cards always come in Republican, which is weird. And my son, he just, he checked, I don't know if he checked Republican, but his first was independent. He goes, Mom, I didn't register for independent.
Yeah.
So I said, well, let's go take it back. And when you had to renew his ID anyway, his driver's license.
It's just been called the state of West Virginia has a new governor.
Oh, wow.
His name is Patrick Morrisey.
Mm-hmm.
He is a Republican. A Republican has taken over the traditional Democratic state of West Virginia, and Patrick Morrisey is now the governor of West Virginia. There are still lines in Georgia. Some people waiting as long as 3 hours to vote.
I think
That's why they are calling for an extended time in Georgia for people to vote. There are still people in line taking up to 3 hours to vote.
Mm-hmm.
Republican Jim Justice has been elected the new senator from West Virginia. He is a 70-year-old man who is a lawyer and former judge that's now the newest senator of West Virginia, Jim Justice. What else do we have here? New Hampshire. It looks like right now, Democrat Joyce Craig is running against Kelly Ayotte in the state of New Hampshire. Joyce Craig has a slight lead. She has you're going to love this one. She's got a 650 lead, 650
wow.
people. That's a small lead, boy. 650 votes ahead. That's Joyce Craig is leading Kelly Ayotte by 650 people. That's real tight. It don't get any tighter than that. Wow. What else is happening, Amelia? Talk to me.
Right now, they're coming back from commercial, so they are still doing the North Carolina. Georgia is 62% for Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, Vice President, is 38% right now. But like I said, that is still going on right now because, like you said, they're trying to get the polls open. North Carolina, she's got a lead of 67% for Kamala Harris, and Donald
Yeah.
Trump 31% as the votes are coming in for North Carolina.
Yep.
And
Don't let the third parties on the yeah. See, here's Leon just telling the same thing in New York. They don't let third parties on the ballot. See, they let them on the ballot in New Jersey, but they can't. They don't count.
And
You can vote for them, but they don't count.
Virginia's coming in with
Crazy.
Vice President Kamala Harris
Strangest
is
thing.
58%, and Donald Trump is 40% right now.
Kenneth Jarrett Singleton says we've been red since the Oreo ran in 2008. Yep, I hear you, brother. Yep, Oreo is exactly right. He's another one that tried to say he was black. Well,
and Florida's
it's black when it's convenient for him to be black.
Florida's coming in with 54% for Donald Trump and 46% for Kamala Harris right now.
I had an interesting conversation in the Walmart today. Interestingly enough,
you did?
I did. I met a woman who claims to be Kamala Harris's cousin. I said, "Let me ask you a question, ma'am. Are you African American?" She says, "Well, of course I am." I said, "Kamala Harris doesn't have any African Americans in her family."
No.
I said, "Kamala Harris is not African American. You know that?" She says, "Yes, she is." I said, "No, she's not.
No, she's not.
Kamala Harris is Indian and Jamaican."
Correct.
And you can please go look up her father and mother. Her mother's as white as you are.
Yeah.
Okay? Her father's a dark-skinned man, but he's not black.
No.
Craziness.
Yeah.
Leon, sounds like okay, Leon, with the wrestling references, okay, please. Let's try to keep it cool, brother. Leon, his head is always in the gutter with wrestling.
It's not tomorrow's show, okay?
Tomorrow's the wrestling show. We got tomorrow.
It looks like
tomorrow we got a good one.
Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Ohio. Other states will have 14 minutes. It looks like those polls are going to be coming in for those states.
Right. Okay. Okay. I only had to ban one person tonight. How about that? I'm so proud of myself. I'm usually blocking everybody in this chat tonight. But no, this is good. The father is still living. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I know, Leon. Yep. Tell people that. They think you're crazy.
Right.
You know?
Remarkable. They have somebody speaking for Kamala Harris right now, and she doesn't look too happy. And then, of course, they have somebody speaking for Donald Trump, and she's just smiling away. But that's all they're doing right now.
In North Carolina, Democrat Josh Stein has a significant lead over Mark Robinson for the governor's race.
Oh, my goodness.
In North Carolina. I don't know who the governor of North Carolina was before. So let's find out who the governor of North Carolina. I mean, tell you what, Amelia, you talk to everybody. Okay. And I want to find out.
Okay. It looks like the polls will soon close in 16 states and in D.C., so we're just still waiting on that. Right now in North Carolina, they're still waiting on that right now as well for that. Ohio is 57% for Donald Trump, and Kamala Harris for Vice President is 41%. But like I said, the votes are still coming in. South Carolina is 60% for Donald Trump and 38% for Vice President Kamala Harris. The votes are coming in little by little. But like I said, the polls are still
okay. Interesting things happening here in North Carolina. Both of the gentlemen running in North Carolina are first timers. The governor of North Carolina is Roy Cooper. He's a lame duck governor. He can't run, and the two guys running for a governor's seat in North Carolina are Stein and Robinson. Josh Stein and Mark Robinson are two first timers trying to take the seat that was once held by Governor Roy, and I just said his name too, son of a gun.
Roy
Uh,
Cooper.
Roy Cooper, and they are. It looks like Josh Stein has a significant lead over Mark Robinson, who is trying to outmuscle him for the governor's seat. But we have to remember too, North Carolina is another one of those states that can
It's
swing either way. It can go, you know, he
this
could have a
way.
lead now,
Mhm.
but be totally in the woods
Right.
by 8 o'clock.
Right. It
That's
could get.
how volatile North Carolina is.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, it could go start to go one way, and then all of a sudden you turn around and people still voting, and
Yeah.
then they haven't finished counting the votes, and it could go the other way. So,
Well, that was the problem in 2020. That was also the problem in 20. I'm wanting to say, oh God, I'm wanting to say in 2000. I think it was a problem with George Bush and Al Gore. To be honest with you. Okay, here we go. Governor of New Hampshire is literally. It's now Kelly Iotti is now ahead.
oh wow,
She was behind by 650 votes. She's now ahead by 949.
oh my goodness. So yeah, like you said, it's gonna be like
It
this.
can go like it's, I'm telling you, New Hampshire's crazy. But again, New Hampshire is one of those states where you never know what's going to happen. And by the way, New Hampshire is a Democrat state. It's voting Republican tonight.
Oh.
Kelly Iotti is a Republican. And it looks like Kelly Iotti is going to win the governorship of the state of New Hampshire as of right now. Again, only 1% of the vote is in. And we're still very, very early.
Yes.
New
Florida's very, very
Hampshire.
close.
New Hampshire has Kamala Harris at 55, Donald Trump at 44. No surprise there, though.
Right.
There's no surprise there. New Hampshire is a traditionally Democratic state. But they're voting Republican, though, for their governor, which is interesting.
Yeah.
So, and we'll find out if that has any influence later in the numbers in New Hampshire, because they're still counting. They're going to be counting these things for days.
Oh yeah, and right now it's very close with Florida, which is a surprise. It's 54% for Trump and 44% for Vice President Kamala Harris.
I'm curious to see out the people that are listening to the show and people watching. I'm curious to how many of you out there think that we're going to have a winner tonight. How many think there will actually be a winner tonight? I'm asking that question, Amelia, because first of all, what do you think? Do you think we're going to have a winner tonight?
I think we're probably it's gonna be a few days before we know anything officially.
I think that's the case. I really believe that. I think it's going to be at least 2 days. I think it's going to be at least 2 to 3 days.
Yeah.
2 on the minimum 2.
Yes.
Donald Trump seems to think that there might be a winner tonight by 10:30. He says by between 10 and 11 o'clock, I think we'll know who the winner is.
If one of them says, you know what, okay, I give in, you win, congratulations.
Oh, you wait a minute, hold on, but bite your tongue,
like,
woman. Wait a
That's
minute.
what he thinks is going to
What
happen.
kind of Republican are you? Wait a minute.
No. That's what he thinks is going to happen. But she's the type that's not going to give up.
Hold on a minute. Listen to me, young lady. Listen to me right now.
She's the type that she's not going to give up.
Do I need to talk some sense into you?
No. I'm just saying she's going to be the type that's not going to give up.
Do you think that either one of these people
they're not going to give up?
Do you think that either one of them are going to say, I quit?
No. That's what I meant. They're not going to give up.
No, that ain't happening tonight.
No.
Nope. Absolutely not. Okay. Phil Scott. Phil Scott has been declared the governor of Vermont. He is interesting. He's a Republican. It's funny. Vermont gave its 3 votes to Kamala Harris, but they voted for a Republican governor.
Oh my goodness. That's gonna be
Well, wait a minute. So did North Carolina. Voted for, it's crazy.
it's gonna be like this one.
This is why they call these the swing states, because they're not. You don't know. When it comes to presidential elections, all bets are off. You don't know what's going to happen.
The gloves are gonna come off.
Presidential election. Crazy stuff. All right.
Let's see.
Let's see here.
Looks like Virginia, Vice President Harris is ahead by 55%, and Donald Trump is up at 42% right now.
Donald Trump is now 25 points ahead.
Yes.
In the state of Georgia. Kamala Harris is killing it in North Carolina.
Yes, she is.
She's sweeping North Carolina. For the Senate race in Ohio just closed. They are right now. Here we go. Jim Justice has been declared the winner of the Senate race in West Virginia. West Virginia is calling it now that Jim Justice is the new senator in West Virginia. Rick Scott has been declared the winner of the Senate race in Florida.
Yes.
Former governor Bernie Sanders. Oh, shit. Here we go.
Oh, no. Him?
Josh Stein is now the new governor of North Carolina. He is a Democrat. The state of North Carolina, no surprise there, it has been a Democrat stronghold for ages. No surprises there. North Carolina voting Democrat. Okay. What else is happening here? Amelia, what do you got for me?
Right now, Florida is holding steady at 54% for Donald Trump, and Vice President Harris is at 44% right now as we speak. So that's the polls right now. And in Georgia is 61% for Donald Trump. Vice President Harris is at 38% right now. But
Kenneth Singleton says, I think the winner will be declared tonight. It's funny because there are a couple of people I'm just watching on my monitor here. I have a monitor to the side of me. Amelia's monitor is, as you can see, is above her head because she's going like this, looking at airplanes all night. You look like you're looking at airplanes, like, you know, where's Superman? All right, anyway, so yeah, nut. So what it looks like is there are a number of people who are siding with Kenneth Singleton tonight, thinking maybe this thing might be in the bag tonight.
Yes. Well,
I will say this. If the election is declared tonight, it will be concise. There will be no issues. And we will know who the president is by 11 o'clock, 10:30, 11 o'clock at the latest. I will tell you that I believe there's a very, and I'm a Republican. I'll just tell you, I voted for Donald Trump today. Okay. If the election is declared tonight, it will be Donald Trump who wins. If the election is declared in a few days, there might be trouble for the GOP. There might be trouble for the GOP if the election goes more than tonight. Traditionally, Democrats who wait 3 or 4 days to declare whether they've won or not, traditionally Democrats hold that position.
It looks like she's got a lead in Ohio at 53% for Vice President Harris to 46% for Donald Trump. It looks like,
and again, Ohio is a swing state. That number could change in 5 minutes. Look what happened. Look what happened in the state of Virginia.
Yeah.
5 minutes before, Kelly. Oh God, what was her name? I just said. She had a
The-
650-point lead.
right, and then went into
And
900.
then the next time they came back from commercials, it was 949 votes behind.
behind, yes.
Bernie Marino, Ohio, U.S. Senate seat in Ohio. Bernie Marino is at 50%, and Sherrod Brown is at 47%. Again, both of these guys, it's their first time running for Senate in Ohio. We're looking at the national map right now is being counted. It looks like Donald Trump has looking at,
We're like 30 seconds from 16 states closing the polls.
well, Donald Trump right now has declared 4 states for certain and 2 states for Kamala Harris so far. So Donald Trump is leading by 2-1. We'll call it like that.
And next polls will close in about 5 seconds. So that looks like 16 states and DC.
Okay, the District of Columbia is an interesting place because technically it's not a state, but it is the nation's capital. And why did they make it that way? Well, it was done like that purposely. Here's why: to make it neutral.
Right.
To make it neutral. So the capital of the United States literally does not even belong to the United States.
No.
Okay? People don't get that. People in other countries go, well, Washington D.C. is the capital of the United States. Well, yeah, it is, but it's not a part of the United States.
When does Hawaii and Alaska close? I forgot to ask you that.
Hawaii will close at 1 a.m. Hawaii is 5 hours out from California.
Oh, okay.
Which makes them 8 hours out from us.
Oh, okay.
So it's literally like right now in Hawaii, it's literally still daytime.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's probably like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, something like that.
Yeah, because they have like the 4 electoral votes I see, and then Alaska has 3. So they're like the small.
Yeah, but the whole Hawaiian Islands and Alaska will take 5 minutes to count.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's not a lot of people. There's not a lot of people who reside in Hawaii who make their full-time home there.
Right.
But there are a lot of people who have summer houses, vacation houses in Hawaii. A lot of celebrities own land in Hawaii.
Oh,
but I mean, Hawaii will be declared in 5 minutes. Okay. As soon as their polls close, they'll know who the winner is in Hawaii.
Oh, okay, good, because that way.
But their polls will be open for a little bit.
It looks like New Hampshire, Kamala Harris has that by 55% right now, and Donald Trump has that by 43% right now in New Hampshire.
So. It's a smart move. The way Ruffian says, it's a smart move. The way the Republicans can stand tough on policy to fight Harris in case she steps over her boundaries. Oh, brother, let me tell you something. This woman, God help us. And I mean that literally. God, if you're listening, and I know you are, God help us if Kamala Harris wins the White House. Because she is literally an idiot.
Right.
She is literally a puppet who was placed. Do you know that she was not elected? She was not nominated. She was chosen. She was chosen to be the successor to Joe Biden.
Not Texas. Please, not Texas.
Well, it's still early in Texas, Amelia.
It better be 60% for Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris right now in Texas.
I question those numbers.
Yes, me too. So they better fight that.
All right. Leon, with these numbers, what am I looking at?
Electoral
86.
votes 90%, 90 for Donald Trump right now, and 27 for Harris. They just have locked them in.
Well, we have to remember again. This is just 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Most of the polls on the East Coast are just now closing.
Right.
Okay, you still have the Midwest, the West Coast, Alaska, and Hawaii.
Mhm.
You know, the West Coast. They got another 3 hours before they close.
Mhm.
California's got 59 electoral votes.
Right.
Okay. And they can split those votes up any way they want.
Yeah.
You know,
The only thing is if
a
Texas,
small, I'll give you an example, Amelia. A
Mhm.
small state like Vermont, which is kind of a small state,
yes.
they have 3 electoral votes. They're all going to go for Harris.
Oh, yes.
3, okay? That they're all going to go. New Jersey has, I think we have
Jersey
8
has
here.
14.
We have 14. Okay, that's more than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
New Jersey could split 7 and 7. They could split 10 and 4. You know, 9 and 5. They can split any different. Whoever has the most electoral votes has them.
Right.
They don't have all of them though. You can split your votes, but a small state like Hawaii, they're probably all going to go to one person.
Right.
Vermont, one person. Rhode Island, one person. I think Rhode Island only has 2 electoral votes.
Rhode Island has 4.
They have 4?
4.
Wow, that's more than I thought.
Yeah, I made sure to put all of that down for us, so for the show, so we.
Why don't you go through that? Who has what? Well, while we're talking here.
California, of course, has 54. Nevada has 6. Oregon has 8. Washington State has 12. Idaho has 4. Montana has 4. Wyoming has 3. Colorado has 10. Utah has 6. Arizona has 11. New Mexico has 5. Alaska has 3. Hawaii has 4. Texas has 40.
Yeah.
Oklahoma has 7. Kansas has 6. Nebraska has 5. South Dakota has 3. North Dakota has 3 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota has 18. Iowa has 6. Missouri has 10. Arkansas has 6. Louisiana has 6. Mississippi has 6. Alabama has 9. Georgia has 16. Florida has 30. Kentucky has 8. Indiana has
Amelia,
11.
let me interrupt you right now.
Mhm.
The district attorney of Philadelphia, Larry Krasner, is now speaking, giving updates on the Philadelphia issue, election ballot issue in Philadelphia.
Mhm.
They are providing a live update right now. I want to take a look at
Oh,
this.
yes, please.
And let us, why don't you do me a favor while I'm checking this out? Tell everybody what's going on in our chat.
Of
Talk
course.
to everybody in our chat room.
Mhm.
Go ahead, talk to them, please, Amelia.
Oh, of course. Yes, Leon, of course, is telling us that Florida, Trump has Florida right now, and 3 is the minimum. I'm not really sure what he meant by that, but I wanted to go ahead and continue with everybody to let everybody know that Michigan has 15, of course, electoral votes. Illinois has 19. Indiana has 11. Kentucky has 8. Tennessee has 11. And South Carolina got 9. North Carolina 16. West Virginia has 4. Virginia's 13. I forgot to write down for the Pennsylvania. I apologize for that. For New York had 28. Vermont had 3.
All right, Amelia,
Uh-huh.
I'm back. We have an update in Philadelphia.
Mhm.
Philadelphia is providing law enforcement officials
Mhm.
at the polls to prevent ballot tampering. Apparently, a number of people were caught trying to pad the ballots for Kamala Harris.
Oh, no.
A number of them have been in possession of, for lack of a better word, stolen ballots.
Mm.
So we need to understand that Philadelphia has an issue right now. Their district attorney has lawyers working, police on scene at various polling places where certain polling officials have tried to stuff the ballots with Kamala Harris votes.
Oh no.
That's what we know right now. Okay, go ahead, Neil. Continue, please. What's going on?
Nothing. I was just Leon was telling us about the 3 is the minimum for something. I'm not really sure what he was saying, but I was just letting people know, like,
What he was saying, Amelia, is that you have to have a minimum of 3 electoral votes.
Okay.
I said Hawaii may have 2. I am wrong. They do, in fact, have, I think, 3 or 4, I believe. Leon, I think it's 3 in Hawaii. Would you correct me, please, if I'm wrong? I'm not sure. I'm not real familiar with Hawaii voter turnout, or like how many people actually show up out there. The only thing I do know is that it's still afternoon in Hawaii. That's all I know.
And it looks like Kamala Harris right now is in the lead in Michigan at 76%, with Donald Trump at 22%.
Right. No surprise there either. It should be noted that Michigan is a very heavily Islamic populated state. And I don't know why, but for some reason, people of the Muslims and people who worship Islam, a lot of those people love the state of Michigan and its proximity to Canada. Maybe that's why they like it. Maybe that's why they like it. How about that? It's close to Canada. They can get out if they need to.
And it looks like she's in the lead in Pennsylvania right now at 77%.
So it's no surprise. It's no surprise that Michigan went to Kamala Harris. Not a surprise at all.
Right.
That was actually expected. What else we got here?
Right now, it looks like she's in the lead in Pennsylvania at 77% to Donald Trump's 22% right now in Pennsylvania right now as we speak.
Okay.
But
all right, let's see what else is going on here. We're going to check with one of our other networks. We're checking now with our other network.
But they're doing county by county, of course, right now.
Yeah.
So they're still coming in.
It looks like so Florida, Donald Trump has been declared the winner in Florida. North Carolina, Kamala Harris has been projected to be the winner, not declared, but projected. Oklahoma has been projected for Donald Trump to win Oklahoma based on the voting. Based with 90% of the, holy crap. Wow. Donald Trump with a substantial lead in Oklahoma. 78% in Oklahoma has been declared the winner. Ohio, they're calling it a tie. They're calling it a statistical tie. 49-51.
It was very, very close.
Kamala Harris has 51% of the vote. Donald Trump has 49%. In Pennsylvania, Kamala Harris has been declared, not declared yet, but 19 electoral votes in Pennsylvania are up for grabs, and Kamala Harris has 78% of the vote in Pennsylvania. That's going to be a big one. Keep an eye on that number.
Of course.
And in fact, Amelia, I want you to keep an eye on the state of Pennsylvania tonight.
Yes, that's what they're doing right now, county by county right now.
South Carolina is going to go to Donald Trump. Tennessee has been declared for Donald Trump, projected and declared. The state of Tennessee, the first of the southern big states. We are waiting on Georgia. We're waiting on Um, we are waiting on Kentucky, Georgia. We are waiting on Ohio. It looks like Ohio is leaning toward Kamala Harris. South Carolina, Donald Trump is the winner there. He has been declared the winner in South Carolina. Donald Trump has 99 electoral votes. Kamala Harris has 27 at this moment. Votes are being counted in Georgia, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania. And Virginia is a statistical dead heat. West Virginia has been declared for Donald Trump and projected for Donald Trump to win West Virginia. And the crowd is starting to get bigger in West Virginia.
Right.
What do you got, Amelia?
Right now, they're just doing the senators right now. As you had already mentioned, they are barely telling us about Rick Scott. So I think they're a little bit behind here in CNN. So, and then Marsha Blackburn, of course, the Tennessee Senate, she's already won that for Tennessee.
There's no surprise there. Martha is a favorite in Tennessee.
And Jim
Leon has said there are 4 electoral votes in Hawaii, 1 for each House seat, and 2 senators. Thank you, Leon, for that. My man in the field, Leon. And Kenneth Singleton, if you are still out there, Kenneth, let me know if you're still out there, because I would love to have you on the show.
Elizabeth Warren, one from Massachusetts.
No surprise there either. She's been a senator in Massachusetts for probably 35, 40 years. At least 35 that I know.
Ohio, yeah.
So she's been there a long time. Here you go. Projected winner of the governor of North Carolina, Josh Stein, has beat Mark Robinson to become the new governor of North Carolina, taking over the seat that was held by Roy Cooper. Kamala Harris is the winner of the District of Columbia.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. 3 electoral votes in the District of Columbia. That's what we're looking at right now. The difference in votes between Josh Stein and Mark Robinson is 107,000 votes. Easily, Josh Stein has won the governorship of North Carolina. Again, Donald Trump is the winner in Florida, with more coming in. Nationally, we're waiting for some national numbers to come in from the Midwest. The numbers from the East Coast are pretty solid. Kamala Harris has a solid 3 states. Donald Trump has a solid 6 states, it looks like. Again, 2-1 margin.
Right.
So it looks like right now 100 electoral votes for Donald Trump and 27 for Kamala Harris. That's what we have so far.
Yeah, they haven't changed it over here on my end, so I'm glad that you have the correct numbers, because I don't know why they haven't, but at least CNN. So
polls are now going to close in 10 minutes in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Arizona. Now, when you say, well, it'll be 8:30, this is true. They have a closing at 30 minutes after the hour in those states. Those states do not close on the hour.
Right.
They close on the 30 minutes of the hour. Let me think. Who else do we got here? It looks to me like Maryland is going to sway for Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is also the projected winner in Massachusetts. That will bring her electoral count from 27 to 39.
Right, because they get 11 electoral votes. So,
And we have, let's see,
oh,
she
soon.
won 81% of the vote, allegedly,
Mhm.
in Massachusetts. I'm not surprised. It's a heavily Democratic state.
Right.
No surprises there. Donald Trump has won in Missouri with 10 electoral votes, bringing those totals to 109.
Okay. And you know how I was telling you about Texas? Well, it's jumped to 53% for Trump, and
Yep.
Kamala Harris is 47%. So it has gone a little bit red now, and the polls will soon be closing in Nebraska.
Okay. We are looking at some straw poll numbers here. Fulton County, Georgia is leaning. This is the stronghold that
Mhm.
that Leon was talking about earlier in the broadcast. Fulton County is a heavily Republican area with very strong Democratic pockets,
Right.
and those Democrats have come out in full force. It looks like Kamala Harris is going to carry Fulton County, Georgia.
Okay.
Let's see. Donald Trump is carrying Union County, Georgia. Now, this is where it gets important because Georgia is now being declared county by county.
So it's going to be divided again.
It's going to be a very divisive. Georgia's going to be a problem. I said it earlier. I'll say it again.
You did right from the
We're
beginning.
going to have a problem in Georgia tonight, folks.
Seems like everything happens in Georgia, doesn't it?
Because they're a bunch of cheaters and liars and sneaks in Georgia. Because you can't trust nothing a Southerner says.
And murderers that get away with murder too. If you.
Yeah, sorry, but it's the truth.
It's the truth. I'm sorry to tell you that, but
the state of Maryland goes to Kamala Harris. It is a dead heat. It is dead even in Ohio.
Oh wow!
Even. It's even. It's like so even that like
a seesaw. Now it's
like a seesaw. Yeah, it's like right there, stuck in the middle. Nobody's going either way. Right. Here's the thing: we talked about this. We said this earlier. Swing states are called swing states because you never know which way they're going to swing.
Depends which way the air is moving, right?
It all depends on which way the air is moving. Now, again, the early voting in Pennsylvania says that Kamala Harris is the winner in Pennsylvania. But they just closed the polls in Pennsylvania 30 minutes ago.
Right.
8:00. The other thing is we already know that Philadelphia is in trouble because they were caught trying to pad votes.
Exactly. So we don't know.
So I don't know how much to believe about Pennsylvania just yet. Pennsylvania is going to be a problem because Donald Trump really believed that he had Pennsylvania won.
Right.
And so did his pollers.
Right.
And quite frankly, so did a lot of the news people.
Right.
Think that he had it won. Let's see who's in the chat.
Yeah, because right now it's Illinois.
Thank you, Leon. Appreciate you, brother.
At 62% to 36% for Trump. So now, so it just like you said varies. So you never know what's going to happen. So
no, you don't. You just don't know. Predictions for election night. What happens? What do we do? What do you say, Amelia? Predictions.
Predictions. It's just.
What do we do here? Do we predict? Project?
I'm scared to predict anything because what if it goes the opposite? And I'm gonna say, okay, mommy, if you win, you're gonna owe my mommy child support.
Right?
A lot of it. Okay.
Well, look, they call it predictions and projections for a reason.
Yeah, because
I predict, and I'm going to say something I never thought I would say.
Right.
I'm going to predict Kamala Harris will win it.
Oh,
And here's why I think. First of all, number one, the fix is in. Okay, number one, the fix is in. I think the powers that be want her in there so badly so they can achieve their agenda, just like Al Ruffian said last night.
Mm.
Okay, I think she's going to, and I think she's going to be in trouble. I think she's going to be in trouble the moment she says I do. Because I think this woman doesn't realize that the people who put her there could very easily take her ass out.
Oh, yeah.
Look what they tried to do to Donald Trump. They tried to shoot him twice. Okay? Let's remember what they did to John F. Kennedy. If you want somebody bad enough, you'll find a way to get them.
Yep. And they'll use a scapegoat to get it.
What? Yeah, maybe. Whatever it takes.
But you know what? If that's gonna be the case, me Mexican, so I can declare myself illegal real quick.
Yeah. Live election coverage of the presidential race of 2024. Kamala Harris has won the District of Columbia, all 3 of its electoral votes. Okay, good for her. We are looking at still. They have not changed the numbers yet. It's 27 electoral votes for Harris and 100 for Donald Trump. Those numbers haven't moved yet. Amelia, what have we got in the Midwest? What's going on there?
South Carolina is 56% for Trump, and Harris is 40%. I'm sorry, 58% for Donald Trump, and Vice President Harris is 40%. Texas has Trump at 51% and Vice President Harris at 46% right now. The numbers are finally coming in for Texas, so that's what they have them at right now.
Okay.
Texas.
Alrighty.
But they're still going county by county. What we're looking
at is a very interesting, what's shaping up to be a very interesting election night. Texas is an interesting place because the numbers keep changing in Texas.
They do. They just keep fluctuating. And for years, for the past couple elections, it's been Republican.
Dead even in the state of Virginia. Dead even in the state of Virginia. Donald Trump is the winner in West Virginia. In Michigan, they are voting for a new senator. And it looks like Missouri is voting for a new senator as well.
Right.
It's exactly dead even in, you can't make this stuff up.
Right.
My friend Andy Kim here in New Jersey, looks like Andy Kim will be the new senator in the state of New Jersey, my friend Andy Kim.
Oh, wow.
Who I voted for Andy today, by the way. I'll just tell you that.
They finally changed the numbers to 99.
And when he becomes my new senator, I'm going to bring him on the show and say, I voted for you, you rat bastard.
So you better be on the show.
Yes, absolutely. Well, of course he will. Of course he will. Anything to get rid of Paul Moriarty, that piece of shit. Let's see here. Florida is voting for a new new congressman in Florida. I'll get it out, Amelia.
It'll be like
I'll get it out. A new House of Representatives. Yes, they're called Congressman, Angelo. House seat is up for grab in Georgia and Maine as well. We have another House seat is up in Michigan. And one, it looks like Carl Marlinga and John James. John James will win Michigan. And it looks like New Jersey. They just showed New Jersey again for congressperson. I can't believe this.
What?
They keep voting for this fucking criminal, Robert Menendez. The guy has been indicted 11 times he's been indicted. They still elect this guy. Why? That's what happens when you have friends at the Capitol.
He used that F word. Uh-oh, we're in trouble.
I did. I said F-bomb, folks. I'm sorry.
Ohio is still very, very tight. It's 40.
Ohio is a dead even heat right now.
49.3 for Vice President Harris and 49.9 for Donald Trump. So it's
dead
very
even. Listen to me.
Mhm.
Repeat these words. It's dead even.
I'm just looking at the numbers they showed.
Repeat these words. It's dead even.
Dead even.
Thank you. I knew I'd get you to say it. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
I have to repeat what he says, okay?
All right, we're in commercial break right now, folks. So, oh, goodness gracious. Holy smokes, boy. I'll tell you what.
Very, very close
It's
in a lot of these
close. Are you kidding me?
Yes.
Man, is it close. I'll tell you what.
Yes. Well, it looks like Alaska is red right now, but I don't know the numbers yet. It looks like Texas is red, but they are still fluctuating the numbers, so we don't know yet.
They're bouncing back and forth.
Yeah.
They really are.
They are.
Texas is one of those places. It's funny.
Mhm.
Texas has traditionally, Texas used to be a Republican state. Ever since, it's funny though, ever since John F. Kennedy's assassination, as much as they hated Kennedy in Texas, Texas has become a Democratic state.
Yes.
Which is funny because what happened was Kennedy's assassination in Texas, they weren't expecting what would happen was that they got bounced back on it.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
People in Texas ended up, oh boy, did they shift the balance big time in Texas. Holy crap. Let's see, we're looking at
Michigan. The numbers are also like this: 57% for Vice President Kamala Harris, 40% for Donald Trump right now.
A Democrat has won the Senate seat in Pennsylvania. A female, her name is, oh God, bring her back, please. Virginia, somebody in Pennsylvania. Again, Josh Stein, governor of North Carolina, has been declared winner. What are we looking at here? It is closing time in Colorado
and Nevada,
Arizona,
Nebraska. I'm sorry, Nebraska.
And Nebraska is closing too.
Yes.
So we've got another handful of states that are closing on the half hour. Arizona, Colorado are closed now. Voting will begin shortly. Utah is closing right now, as a matter of fact. The state of Utah is closing in about a minute. Right now, actually, it says. Yes. Okay. Yeah, we are going to take another break. We will be right back, folks, with live coverage of the election of 2024. We're searching for president. Let's watch this one. Take care.
Do you have sweaty balls or volleyball netty balls? It's time to make them ready balls. The Manscaped.com Lawnmower 3.0 will do the job and clean your knob with its patented no-nick head, so your head will function as desired. Enter promo code Wrestling Future for a generous 20% discount. That's enter Wrestling Future for a 20% discount. Manscaped.com and Wrestling with the Future, going balls to the walls with Manscaped.com and the Lawnmower 3.0. Your balls will thank you, and so will we.
Breaking news as we come back on the air. The state of New Jersey has been declared for Kamala Harris. Not a surprise at all. They were expecting that here. Of course, we have a strong Democratic population, particularly in North New Jersey. And those are the people who turned out to vote for Kamala Harris. Not a big surprise there. Our governor is also a Democrat, a two-term Democrat governor in New Jersey, Phil Murphy. We are looking at live pictures right now from Philadelphia and from Washington, D.C. We are looking at, what is this now? We are looking at someone coming to the podium. Who is this coming to the podium? Let's see here. Hold on, Amelia. Oh, I got to find out who this fella is coming to the podium.
And North Carolina is still, again, a tight race at 49% for both of them. So they're still counting the polls on that one. So it's going to be like a seesaw race on that one still.
They have a big wall of bulletproof glass.
Oh, dear.
At Kamala Harris's headquarters.
Mm.
I mean, a big wall.
That's
of bulletproof glass. That is very strange. That's very, and then she's got a lot of bodyguards there, but I'm going to tell you what.
Yeah, she always has.
It looks like we're counting right now. Kamala Harris is carrying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Kamala Harris is carrying 9 states right now. Donald Trump is carrying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Donald Trump is carrying 16 states right now. So each candidate has a substantial number of states they're carrying. I should say almost all of them are from the coast, the East Coast, to the middle of the country. No one past Chicago except for the state of Texas, which is dead center.
Right.
And Texas, by the way, is split right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're calling it for they're actually projecting, hold on a second. There's the Rick Scott giving his victory speech as the new senator of Florida. You got a new senator, Amelia.
Oh.
His name is Rick Scott. That's a familiar name. He used to be your governor.
Yeah, he didn't do anything for us unless something major disaster happened. I swear.
I guess Amelia likes Rick Scott.
I'm serious.
Oh,
that's all he did for us. Was if it was a major disaster, that's the only time he stepped up. Was that one time for us.
Who else is still with me in the chat, or did everybody go to sleep by now?
And Rosie, it looks like, or Leon
is the only one that stuck with me in the chat. Everybody else went to bed.
Or they're still there just listening, I guess.
Well, I'll tell you what, folks. Here's what we're gonna do. Because we can go. We're gonna leave here. We're going to leave you all in suspense. At 9 o'clock, we're going off the air.
Mm-hmm.
We are going off the air at 9 o'clock, and we will all know together tomorrow probably who the United States chose as their new president. I know who I chose. I voted for Donald Trump today. Here's Ruffian. Ruffian's still here. There you go, Ruff. Okay, cool. I was going to say, man, it's like everybody left me. I
know, right?
I thought they all left. I was like, oh shit, I got only Leon's left. Damn.
Well, you know what? We'll have them back tomorrow. So
now Rick Scott is doing a speech. You know what? He's so used to being governor, he can't take just being the winner. He's got to have a speech, right?
He has to be right there in front of your face.
He's got to be the center of it because he's an egotistical fuck nut.
Yeah, he always found a way to be in the front of the camera for something, and I'm like, why?
Yeah, he needs to go away because his bald head is the light is killing me here.
Yeah, we were so happy to get rid of him, and now we unfortunately have to.
You got him back. Because he doesn't know how to hold a job.
No,
he got fired from his last job as governor.
Yes, we said bye,
and now he's going to bitch and you know what? Go away, Rick. I don't even want to look at it.
Yeah, we can talk about something else right now. But
Ruffian, you with me? Okay. Let me ask you a question, Ruff. At 9 o'clock, when I go off the air tonight, am I going to be happier for having left the country in in the hands of the unknown, or should I stay here and stick it out and maybe talk some sense into folks? I don't know what I should do here.
Well, we're trying to talk sense into them now. I mean, people that are like on the
Debbie Powell has lost her Senate seat in Florida, but that means for the next 25 minutes we got to listen to Rick Scott. He'll probably be up there for an hour because he's a piece of shit that doesn't know how to do nothing but talk.
Unless
he does give a good speech though, but he's a fucking asshole.
Yeah,
okay.
I agree.
I'm going to see. It took Rick Scott to piss me the fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because he's a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
All right.
Now you know how we felt here in Florida.
Yeah, I feel you. Trust me.
Because he was nothing good. He was no good for us here in Florida unless something was going on. It's like, hello, nothing for you.
Right, Leon and Rosie are here. There you go. I thought everybody left me. That's because I just want to make sure you're still here.
Listening to us talk and everything like that. So it looks like so far it's just 105 electoral votes for Trump and 27 for Harris. But I don't know if that's the actual number still or if they.
It has not been tabulated correctly. Not yet.
So they haven't changed it yet.
Not yet. It will. It's going to change. It's going to go up and down.
Mm-hmm.
The magic number is 270.
Mm-hmm.
Once they hit that number. All right. Ruffian says it's up to me. I'm here for the ride. You know what? We'll stick it out.
It looks like right now North Carolina is 52% for Donald Trump and Vice President Harris is 46% right now. So
okay, terrific.
It's still, like you said, going up and down.
Yeah, we're going to stick out. We're going to stick it out for a little bit. Let's see. We'll hang out till
and
we'll see what happens at 9.
Pennsylvania is 69% for Vice President Kamala Harris and 29% for Donald Trump. So she's dropped. It was 70 something, so she's dropped a little bit.
Okay, Andy Kim has been declared the new state senator in New Jersey. He is the new United States Senator for the state of New Jersey, Andy Kim. Okay, terrific. And has won by a substantial margin, almost 1 million votes.
Do you predict that we'll have more Republicans in the Senate this time or more?
Well, that's the question. It's certainly, it looks like right now, it looks like there's an equal number of Democrats as there are Republicans. The thing is here's what's going to happen. 2 possible scenarios. Georgia or Texas, one or the other, is going to tip the balance of power in the Senate.
Mm-hmm.
It's either going to be Georgia or Texas, and a Hail Mary pass, it may even be Pennsylvania by the time it's all said and done.
Okay.
But definitely, you watch me when I tell you, Georgia is going to make itself known in that Senate race. Watch. Illinois, the state of Illinois, again, no surprise here. The state of Illinois has been projected for Kamala Harris to win. Again, a traditionally Democratic state did not disappoint. We're still looking for clear-cut winners in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're looking for clear-cut winners in 9 red states.
Okay.
That are right now, they're pink.
Oh.
They're pink. They're not red yet. They're pink.
Right. They're counting the votes
and
still to see.
The dark blue has been declared for Kamala Harris. The light blue is leaning toward Kamala Harris. And there are about It looks like about 6 or 7 kind of pale blue, like light blue,
Right.
leaning toward Harris, but could tip either way.
Right.
Again, they call them swing states, folks, because they swing.
You don't know which way you're gonna go.
They swing. Which way are we going to swing? I don't know. Let's swing. Anyway. All right, Amelia, tell me what you got there.
Right now, they're still talking about it's still early for Georgia and North Carolina. They have another polls are going to be closing in about 15 minutes. So that's probably going to be more of the West Coast is going to be closing. So they're still waiting on that for them.
El Ruffian, if you're still with me tonight, I'm glad you're here. Tomorrow night, a special programming note. Tomorrow night, the last, final, and most explosive chapter in the Chris Benoit saga. I got a hold of the holy grail of evidence from the Georgia State Police, by the way. Legit. And we got a hold of some phone calls that have never been aired before. Wait till you hear this stuff. It's going to blow your mind. By the way, the Kamala Harris headquarters has been nothing but entertainment all night long. Singers, dancers, actors, actresses. And now a bunch of black women shaking their asses.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I don't know what they're all going like shaking their shit around. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. I don't know if you call that dancing or just jiggling because they got big asses.
I think Evil got invited to the party.
No, I will never be invited to a Kamala Harris party. I'll tell you that right now. I'll tell you who else ain't invited. P. Diddy.
All right.
That motherfucker's in jail.
Right.
He's still being held in jail. And he's going to stay there until they find out what the hell's going on with him.
Oh, he didn't get to throw his annual Halloween party this year either.
Nope, he didn't get to throw his Halloween party. Nope, somebody else did though on his behalf. You know that, right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I know they did. Yeah. We are looking at Harris. Hold on. Let's see here. Okay, they're having a party.
Right.
Of course, she loves to have parties. They're having a watch party at Howard University. And that's where they are. That's where all these singers and dancers were.
That's what her.
And they got a gigantic wall of bulletproof glass. In the front of that whole stage is bulletproof glass. So somebody's expecting something bad to happen.
Right. And they say right now, Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania is still too early to call. So they're still waiting on that. I don't know why they're still saying that for some reason.
Ruffian, tell everybody you can. Tell everybody you can, brother. I'm serious. I'm straight shooting on this one. Mm-hmm. We got some major developments. And by the way, just so you know, a name that I mentioned before, a Guerrero name I mentioned before, he's being looked at once again. Yep.
I still feel there's a she involved in that too, but that's just my intuition.
There is, and you're going to hear her voice tomorrow night. Yeah. You're going to hear who she is.
Because, trusting that, not having the doors jammed or broken, things like that.
There's a lot. You're going to hear a lot. You're going to hear a lot. Okay.
And so
the battleground states, Amelia, the battleground states, Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, North Carolina, Nevada, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. They are all still up for grabs still.
Michigan as well. 55% for Vice President Kamala Harris, 42% for Donald Trump right now.
So but Michigan just closed.
Yes, they just closed, so they're still counting.
Just closed. Right, they're just now getting started.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And there are approximately, at Howard University, there are approximately 50,000 people outside waiting for Kamala Harris.
Wow.
50,000 right now.
Wow.
So, like I said, I think she may end up winning this, but if she does, she really needs to watch who her friends are. Like Kamala, let me give you some advice, young lady, because you're younger than me. So listen to me carefully. Keep your friends close. Keep your enemies closer. That's my advice to Kamala Harris. Keep your friends close. Keep your enemies closer. Because you're going to have a lot of people say they're your friend.
Right.
Be careful, young lady. That's all I'm going to say. Be careful. I'll tell you what, Amelia.
Yes.
We are going to we're going to push this out as long as we can.
Yes.
But I don't think there's much we're going to know before 10 o'clock.
Not really, because it's still like
And I know that we can't stay here till 10 o'clock. Well, I know you can't anyway, because you have work tomorrow, and you got to be up with the birds.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I can hang out here. But let's see what it looks like. Well, just for the next few minutes, let's see.
Yeah, it looks like they're still counting the Georgia votes, and a lot of the polls are going to be another set of polls are going to be closing in 9 minutes. So
well, approximately they say the next 10 to 15 minutes.
Yes.
All right, where we are now is let's see, Bernie Sanders. It looks like has retained his seat in Vermont.
Yes.
No surprise there, because Bernie was born in Vermont.
Did he run unopposed?
What's that?
Did he run unopposed, or did somebody run against him?
No, they ran against him, but it was some young upstart that didn't have a chance. Poor guy. Let's see what we're looking at here. Indiana governor. Okay. Mike Braun has been elected governor of Indiana. He is incumbent governor of Indiana. There with his wife, they have won a re-election in Indiana. Election alert. Indiana Governor Governor-elect Mike Braun acceptance speech. So that's happening live in Indiana. Governor Mike Braun has been elected to serve the state of Indiana. He is a Republican. Indiana, by the way, is expected to go for Donald Trump.
Right.
That we know of so far. Mike Braun has beaten out Jennifer McCormick, who ran against him. She is a first-time politician running against an incumbent governor, who she lost terribly bad, really bad. But she gave it a good shot. She gave the old college try. She tried. Let's see what's happening in the chat. Manchurian candidate. This lecture reminds me of exactly. Leon, I talked about that earlier. The people who chose Kamala. I'm going to remind them of something. Joe Biden was urged to step down.
Yes.
Who urged him to step down? It wasn't his advisors. It was the hierarchy of the Democratic Party.
It was.
Why? Because he was an old guy that's getting a little feeble-minded, allegedly.
Right.
That whole term, Joe Biden's whole term, was a setup to get Kamala Harris elected. Remember what she said when Joe Biden got elected. They both gave speeches. And she said, and I quote, someday, we'll be talking about breaking that glass ceiling. Okay? Hello. Welcome to my nightmare.
Wow.
Okay. Anyway, and if you think I'm crazy, watch what happens tomorrow morning.
Mm.
Yeah, she is a Manchurian candidate, just like the Oreo cookie was too.
Right.
You know,
It looks like right now
because
Michigan.
this is going to be the Oreo cookie's fourth term, by the way.
Mm.
That's who set this all up. This is the Barack BHO is behind all of this. Barack Hussein Obama. By the way, that's not even his real name, by the way. Barack Obama's real name is Barry Sotoritz. I'm sorry, Barry Sotoro. Okay? And he sounds Italian, but he's not. Okay? Barry Sotoro. That was his mother's maiden name, Sotoro. People don't realize that. All right, Governor, your speech is running longer than Rick Scott's. Now, let's get on with it here, brother. All right, Amelia, what do we got now? What are we looking at?
It looks like North Carolina, Donald Trump's ahead at 54%, and Vice President Harris is at 44%.
Okay, that's North Carolina.
Yes.
Let's see what else we're looking at here. Who else are we got here? Let's check this out. It looks as though Wisconsin, Arizona, they're closing polls in Wisconsin,
Yes.
Arizona, and Michigan. In the next 4 minutes, all of the polls in Arizona, Wisconsin, and Michigan will be closed. Polls have closed in Utah. And it looks like the info we're getting so far, Donald Trump is carrying Mississippi and Missouri. Donald Trump is the projected winner in Missouri. Just to show you, in 2020, Joe Biden won Missouri by 50%.
Wow.
Donald Trump has already surpassed them. Surpassed those numbers. 11 electoral votes are up for grabs in Arizona. We will know the projected winner in Arizona in the next 20 minutes or so. It looks like Michigan is closing in 3.5 minutes, Amelia.
Yes.
Let's see. I ain't gonna front. I can't. I can't wait to laugh at them commemorative Harris plates. Yeah, right. No shit. All right, Neil. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do, folks. Why don't we do this? We've got 3 minutes left. We're at the 9 o'clock. We're going to leave here, folks. We're going to leave you at 9 as we had planned. Well, let's tell everybody what's coming up tomorrow night. Go ahead.
So tomorrow we're going to be talking about Chris Benoit. Was it all murder all around, or was it still the murder-suicide like people have been saying? We're going to find out.
I know, right?
Yeah. I promise it's going to be the last show.
Sure.
We're going to be doing this last show for everybody that's been wanting to have the Chris Benoit. I promise this will be the last and final show. We're not going to do this anymore. 18 years, he needs to rest in peace.
Yeah.
And his family needs to rest in peace as well.
Absolutely, for sure. For sure. On that note, till we see you again, God bless you, ladies and gentlemen. I pray to God that our country is better tomorrow than it is tonight. We will see you, Lord willing, in the Creek Don't Rise tomorrow night with our Chris Benoit show. We might even be in a good mood. Well, all depends on what happens later tonight. For Amelia Pitbull Chapman, I am Angelo, the Mad Dog DeCipio. Thank you to my friend, Al Ruffian, Leon, Rosie, Kenneth Singleton. You guys, can't do it without you.
Yes.
We'll see you tomorrow night. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.